What's up, my babes, and welcome back to another freaking video. If y'all new here, my name is Tracy James. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the family and join the vibes. And to my babes and my babe watchers, I already know what you guys are thinking.
Hold on.
Where's the vlog? I know, my babes, I know. However, don't you worry, the vlog will be dropping on tomorrow. So just stay tuned for that. Honey, I had a lot of stuff going on this week. And this week was Black Global Gay Pride, or Global Black Gay Pride. So I wanted to create a vlog involving all of my events for my first Black Gay Pride. So that is what tomorrow's vlog is going to look like. So stay tuned for that. Don't worry, babes, I would not leave you hanging. So you will be getting the vlog. However, in the meantime, of course, you guys know I wanted to come on and speak to you guys, chat to you guys. So I figured out what better way than to do an updated Q&A. So as you could tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be answering some questions from some of the babes, and let's see what they wanted to know. So if you want to see me answer these questions, you know what to do. Just keep on watching. Okay, babes, so one of my lovely babes asked a few questions, which I highly appreciate. First question is, are you happy? So I would say that I am very happy, and coming off of this current weekend, which was Global Black Gay Pride, I am definitely in a very happy space in my life right now in terms of just meeting new friends, enjoying my job, in terms of the financial stability that I've gained now, living in my dream apartment, you know, and just realizing that my happiness is not contingent on what someone else does in my life, but how I show up for myself. So yes, I am very happy, and I pray that I continue to be happy. And of course, my babes and my babe watchers, you guys bring me joy and happiness as well. So yes, I am very happy. The second question is, can you describe your lowest point and how you were able to overcome it? Okay, so yes, I did do a video about one of the darkest times in my life. It was about how I lost everything. So basically what happened was I got out of a relationship and I jumped into the world of really being an adult on my own. I was very young when I moved to Atlanta. I was 22 at the time, I believe. And I moved in right away with someone that I loved a lot. And when the relationship didn't work, I was still very young and not aware of how life really works as an adult. So basically, I lost my apartment, I lost my car. Literally, I was living out of my 18-wheeler truck for about a year and a half of my life, and that was one of the lowest times for me because I always envisioned my life being self-sufficient, having it all together, and losing everything really humbled me. But even though that was a low point in my life, it taught me so many valuable lessons. So in learning that I am growing in this, I was able to overcome it and come out of it and focus, get my finances in order, rebuild my life, and here we are today. So that was a very low point in my life, and that was a great question too. The next question is your biggest regret, relationship-wise and in life. So I really don't live life with regrets. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and that's just the way the story was written. However, I will say that in my relationship, my previous relationship, I do feel like I did myself a disservice by not standing true on how I really felt and getting out of the relationship way sooner, because sometimes when you stick it out because you want to make someone happy, you're really hurting them even more on down the line when you reach your breaking point and you realize, I wanted this to be over months ago. And sometimes you just gotta break it to a person right when you feel like it's not working out, right when you know it's not working out, instead of stringing them along. And I feel like for me, stringing him along in the relationship just didn't help. It didn't help either one of us. It didn't help me. You know, when I was ready to let go and move on, my emotional detachment was there, and I was very, I don't wanna say mean, but I was so emotionally unavailable for him. So I don't want to say I regret it, but I do feel horrible about that sometimes, but I've moved on from that. And I feel like, you know, as you grow and you get older, you learn how to handle situations so that you don't live life with regrets. And any regrets in terms of my life in general, I really don't have any regrets, honestly. I think, like I said, everything happens for a reason. And although sometimes when things happen, we feel like, why me and why now? when you get to the other side of it, you realize, oh, I had to go through that. So I don't really regret anything about my life. Let's see. So the next question is, how do you combat loneliness? I'm asking because I've noticed a lot of your videos are titled Living Alone. Okay, so the Living Alone titles is basically like a series that multiple creators create here on YouTube, and it's not really so much about loneliness. It's just about the reality of my life of living alone. You know what I'm saying? Not having a significant other, not having a roommate, not living with parents, but just how I live my life alone and how I operate in this world alone in terms of just companionship and being amongst people all the time. So that's why I title them that way. But in terms of loneliness, I've grown to learn that being in my own space is good for me. It actually is really good for me to kind of retract and enjoy myself and learn about myself. So loneliness is not a horrible thing for me, and I have grown to create friendships now here in Atlanta, and I feel that sense of community. So I'm not really lonely, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see, the next question we have, it says, you stated that you were not allowed to show emotions and display your feelings as a youngin'. What did you do instead? So what I meant by that was, my mom, she wasn't the type of mother that wanted to see us cry and be emotional. And not that she didn't want to see us be emotional in a way that she couldn't handle it or it was like horrible thing to do. She always wanted us to be happy. So whenever I was feeling like I wanted to be emotional, it was always like a fix. You know what I'm saying? It was always something to quick fix it, snap out of it. Your life is good, let's move on. So in terms of like showing my emotions, I just never really had the opportunity to like break down and just, you know, be coddled and like babied in a way. Like my mother wasn't that type of woman, and honestly I appreciate her so much for that, because it allows me to guard myself so much to where I don't be as vulnerable with so many people, with not being super emotional as a kid. And what I did instead of that was just talk to my mom, literally not be emotional and it's the end of the world, but just literally talk to my mom and tell her what's going on and invite her into my world, and you know, kind of figure out how to get around the emotional aspect of it. And yeah, so I never really was able to just, like I said, be like super emotional and vulnerable to where I understand it. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I wasn't an emotional kid growing up, because my mom always was like, let's do this, let's do that, let's get out of this. You know, she wanted to avoid us from going into like dark places and staying there, because sometimes you need somebody to snap you out of it and be like, I'm not gonna baby you, I'm not gonna coddle you, get it together, let's pick ourselves up and let's move on. And that's how I handle my life and my emotions. And who knows, that may change one day. I may get to a point where my emotions are just something I have no choice but to address, but for now I don't really deal with emotions and being emotional, because as a kid I never really had to, if that makes sense. The pros and cons of being a trucker. So the pros is definitely the financial stability in terms of always having a job. You're gonna need truck drivers no matter what. We honestly make the world go around. You wouldn't have your groceries in your grocery stores without truck drivers. You wouldn't have food in these restaurants without truck drivers. Like, we literally are the supply chain for everything that comes in and out of the country. And so having that financial stability is definitely a pro. The cons would be dealing with traffic all the time. Literally, when you are on the road, no one respects you as a truck driver. They don't care because you're in a big truck. They'll cut you off. They'll slam on brakes in front of you. It's just like the disrespect for truckers on the road is insane. So that is definitely one of the cons of being a trucker. And sometimes if you are like over the road, being away from your friends and family for long hours and long weeks and long days and months, like it can carry out for so long. So definitely like the workload itself can be a con. And I think those would be my only two cons. Just basically dealing with traffic, the stress of traffic, and sometimes working long hours and being out on the road for weeks and months at a time. So yeah. When is the last time someone had you effed up and how did you handle it? The last time someone had me effed up. That is a good question. And honestly, I can't even remember. Like, in terms of like, you got me effed up, like, I really don't remember the last time someone had me effed up. Let me think. I don't know, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I'm gonna think about that and I'm gonna talk about that in the vlog, upcoming vlog. So just keep on watching the vlogs because I really don't remember a time someone really had me up. Because people normally can kind of like catch my vibe and know not to really try me like that. And not like they're afraid or scared, but just that, you know, is it really worth it with him? Because he's gonna pay a dust anyway. But yeah, I don't really remember the last time someone had me effed up. So it says, how would you react if your significant other constantly brought around friends that he had sex with prior to you? Oh, that would be a one-time thing. Once I find out that you guys have been involved, my question is, why are you still friends? Because I personally don't believe that you can have a healthy relationship and an honest relationship by still bringing around someone that you have had that emotional connection with and that intimate, like, because let's be honest, intimate moments like that are soul ties. And even though you may be friends now, in the back of your mind, you're always thinking about that moment, or when you look at each other, it may bring back a memory. And I feel like that's just totally disrespectful to your significant other. So constantly bringing them around, it really doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see why you would want to do it, because I wouldn't be bringing my ex around my new man constantly and thinking that he's gonna be okay with that. Because listen, I'm not okay with that type of stuff, honey. Why are you friends with your ex? And if y'all just didn't do, why are y'all friends? Make it make sense. So I wouldn't deal with that at all. I would nip that in the butt real quick, honey. Don't bring him around no more.
You wrong, your friend was wrong. Don't bring him around no more.
What is something that you refuse to do with your partner? I refuse to have an open relationship. I absolutely refuse to have an open relationship. I don't do that. I'm not sharing my significant other in no way. In the past, I didn't have an open relationship, but we brought other people into our intimate moments, and that is something that definitely had the possibility of ruining our relationship had we not addressed it early on. So having an open relationship, bringing someone else into my intimate moments with my partner is something that I would never do. Okay, so yes, that's something I would never do with my partner. Anything else, I'm not really sure. So, but I know for a fact I would not be doing that. So our next question is from another babe. It says, do you like Atlanta? Do you miss Alabama? Is the hype overinflated? So do I, what does it say? Let me go back. Hold on, forgot that quick. Do I like Atlanta? Yes, I do like Atlanta. Atlanta is one of those cities where I feel like once you've been here and you've embraced the city for what it is, you'll always like the city. Now, I do feel like you can outgrow Atlanta. You can want to experience more things, and that's where I am in my life right now. Although I like Atlanta, I love Atlanta. Atlanta feels like home. I'm ready to explore and expand outside of Atlanta. You guys know New York City is my dream place to live, and I'm hoping that in the near future, very, very soon, I will be able to experience living in New York. But yes, I like Atlanta. I feel like I will always like Atlanta, but I am ready to move and experience something new. I think once I'm ready to buy a home, I'll probably definitely purchase my first home in Atlanta. So I do like Atlanta. Do I miss Alabama? Absolutely freaking not. So the only thing I miss is my mom, my sisters, my nephews, my niece, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. So my family is the only part that I miss about Alabama. I don't necessarily miss the state itself, and especially not where I'm from, because there's absolutely nothing there. Like, nothing. Moving back to Alabama is something that I don't want to do and don't ever look forward to doing. I mean, you never know what you may have to do in the future, but to say that I would choose to do that, Absolutely not. I do not miss Alabama. But my family, of course, I will always miss my family and want to be around them. But a good old FaceTime will take care of it all, honey. And you also asked, is the hype overinflated? So I'm assuming you're talking about the hype of Atlanta. And I think that the hype is gonna always be the hype no matter where you go. It's about what you perceive as to be hype. I definitely do feel like the club scene and restaurants and bars and lounges have definitely died down. I don't care what nobody say, we are in a recession right now and people just ain't got it. So I would say like the club scene, the party scene doesn't look the same, and honestly I wouldn't really know what it looks like prior to this year, just basically what I've been seeing on social media. And now that I'm going out, I'm like, is this the same Atlanta? Because baby, 2 years ago, what I was seeing on the TikTok and the Instagram reels, baby, the city was on tilt every weekend, probably every day. Now it's like crickets, okay? Businesses are closing down, like popular clubs are closing down, restaurants are closing because the money is just not growing in the city as much anymore because people just ain't got it. So is it overhyped? I wouldn't go as far as saying it's overhyped, but things are definitely changing. So once this economy gets better, I think things will go back to normal. But as of right now, the streets are a little quiet. They're a little quiet, okay? Unless it's a major event going on and people are traveling from out of town to come here. But residents here, child, we in the house. We are literally in the house. Okay, so my last question is from one of the babes. What kind of dog is Nas? He looks like my Havanese. So Nas is a Maltipoo. He is mixed with a Maltese and a toy poodle. I believe his mom was a Maltese and his dad was a toy poodle. So he's not a Havanese. I love little cute Havanese, but no, he is a Maltipoo. Okay, babe, so those are all the questions that I have for this Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any other further questions, comment them down below and possibly I'll do a part 2, who knows? So if you have any other specific questions or questions I didn't answer, things you wanna know that you may assume about me, comment them down below and I would love to create a part 2 to this video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't worry my babes, my babe watches, the vlog will be dropping tomorrow, so stay tuned. It's gonna be a good one. My first Black Gay Pride in Atlanta. It has been an amazing time, honey. I got one more day for the festivities, so yes, stay tuned for the vlog, my babes. I love you so freaking much. Thank you guys for showing up for me every single week, supporting what I'm doing. It really does mean a lot. And if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, and you're wondering, should I subscribe? You definitely should subscribe. You would love it over here. The babes and I would love to have you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified every time that I post a video, when I go live, when I talk about something specific on the community tab. Just stay tuned for that, babes, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, babes.